Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of Technically Trek, the OG Technically Trek. I am your humble host, Dave Prime, and stepping in for Katie this evening, who's kind of not feeling that great. We got President Travis. How's it going, dude?
It's going good and all and everything, except for the weather. We are having some very interesting, crazy, I could say, winter weather for earlier for this time of the season right now. Oh
You're,
boy, it
you're you're
has
having what we
been
had a couple of days ago.
it's been treacherous moving eastward and stuff, and it's really like I'm just like, wow. When I was younger, I enjoy seeing this stuff because yeah, it was fun, Christmas and stuff and everything else. And now that I'm in my mid 40s and stuff and everything, I'm like, ooh, you know what? You gotta get up, get out, go to work and all this stuff, scrape your car off and do this, get it heated and everything else. I don't have one of them cars where you can push the button and they automatically starts to warm your car up and everything else and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's
the
it,
auto start.
it's bitter. It's getting bitterly cold. I mean, like right now, it's like 26 degrees, or for our international friends, it's like -3 C. Here and stuff and everything else, and it's just like, oh my goodness. I hope got to watch out for the treacherous black ice. On my way to work in the morning and stuff. But we're just surviving. And they talk about more snow throughout the entire week coming. And I'm like, oh, we're not even hit was that December uh 21st or something like that for
Yeah, this
December
winter
20th.
solstice.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't
Yeah,
even hit that yet. And it's just like, yeah, okay, here we go. We got these treacherous weather and all.
yeah,
But
saying,
you know, I want to say this real quick too. Yesterday, to all of our international friends, and I don't know if anybody here who knows and stuff and everything else, because Tyson, he's backstage right now, but he is in the Coast Guard and stuff. And my dad was in the service and stuff like that. But yesterday we just came and we just reached a point I can't even really say in the sense that wow, it's been that long. It's been 84 years since the bombing of
Pearl
Pearl
Harbor.
Harbor.
Yeah.
And we are approaching 85 years next year. And you look back on as history on that date and stuff like that, it changed in such a way that we are living in such crazy times to think about it. And thinking about like, wow, we went from not being in a war to being in a war, and then after the war and stuff and everything as the result of how we got into a war that we didn't really want to get into and stuff. But like, I mean, it was 84 years ago, and wow, almost we're approaching literally in 25 years, it would be 100 years
15.
to uh Pearl Harbor and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I said 25. I didn't mean to say 25. I meant
15.
15, 15, 15. My mistake. My mistake. But anyway,
But
enough
yeah.
talking.
Yeah,
Ugh.
because this is going to be a short show tonight because I do have an AA commitment this evening, and I didn't think of it at the time. Starting the show half an hour later means that half an hour less to talk. But one thing that does make this show unique to other Trek podcasts is that we encourage and welcome anyone that's watching to say click that link down in the YouTube description below at Dave Prime 1701. That'll get you the link to StreamYard, and then you'll get it backstage. I'll get a little alert that saying, "Hey, someone wants to talk," and then I'll see you on there. If you don't want your camera to be on, you can just talk. It's all good. Because the YouTube chat is great, but we never get your vocal inflections. We don't know if you're being serious or sarcastic, funny or serious. Yeah, come on the camera. We got 6 slots available for that. So yeah, just give that a
we
clink.
enjoy
Give that a
we
clink.
enjoy the participation, the participation from everybody, whether you agree with us or disagree with us and stuff like that. We have fun. If we can have
Oh,
fun with the disagreement, as long as the agreement and stuff, we can just sit and laugh and enjoy.
absolutely. But we're doing something a little different tonight. I kind of alluded to it last week because I got to give a big shout out to my streaming partner, Dubby. What is Dubby, you ask? Well, Dubby is an emergency brand of energy drinks created to help with concentration, focus, reaction time, but you don't get that caffeine crash at the end. It kind of keeps you focused, keeps you going. And I am actually got got the Grandpa's Den for water
Sally got the
and
grandpa's
and
ditch water.
and and the s'mores. Let's see which one's this. This one's the denture water.
The
It's a
grandpa's ditch
pitaya and
water.
mango. But I also, because I was just insanely intrigued, the s'mores. And you
Ooh,
can see
s'mores.
they both still have both are still sealed, so I have not tried this yet at all. And so we're going to hopefully get through the seal to get this opened.
The seal is not childproof and all and everything else because
Yeah, because you don't want to give this to your kids. I mean, even though it's safer, they use a coffee fruit extract.
yeah.
And thing, but been all that talk, especially since I got the dentures. I mean, it makes sense for me to try the denture water. Oh, come on. Yeah, the joy of live TV. Saying, while I do this, we already got a couple of people backstage, so we are gonna bring them on. How's it going, guys?
How's it going,
And somebody,
guys?
yeah, Tyson and Travis might be, or Tyson and Zach they're unmuted.
Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. How is everybody this evening?
Live in here. Can't ask for more.
All right. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Okay, then.
And I was going to talk about dildos, but yours is a lot better.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, but this is
Can we say? Well, we could talk about icicles, dildos.
Pray for Tyson, Mother Mary.
Yes, please let the package coming tomorrow come with its own batteries. Amen.
Double A or triple A?
Give me a break, double A. We're talking D's. What do you mean, double A? What do you think? I'm not a novice.
It's 9 volt.
9 volt. It's gas power.
It's gas. Wow.
How do you think my teeth got this way? All right, I'm playing. All right.
Welcome to Technically Trek, everybody.
So David's trying. You trying
denture water? Well,
okay. So he's getting ready to take a live taste test in everybody to see and to let us know what he thinks of Dubby's Grandpa's denture water. I seen Tyson backstage. He was doing
just a little bit. I had to run out for a moment.
Oh my God, I got some Windex. If you'd like to try that next.
Oh, this thing.
I will. Is it ammonia or ammonia free? If it's,
I don't know, but it kills 99% of germs. So maybe Donald Trump thinks we should drink it to keep ourselves from getting COVID.
Here we go.
Yes, so let's drink it.
What is this? I missed something. I missed a little bit at the beginning when you were talking about it, and I came in a bit late. So is it like?
We're just like it's a type of energy supplement.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's marketed. Dubby likes to market it to gamers. Because it brings it's like a special type of, like, Dave can explain it better, but it gives you more focus without the caffeine crash.
Yeah,
back in the 80s, we used to call it cocaine, but now it's called Dubby. I don't know.
It's probably what it is. Secret ingredients, cocaine. They won't put it on the label though.
Yeah, but Dubby is based out of Tyson's neck of the woods in San Diego, and I ordered it on Sunday. I got it on Thursday. I want to say it got here a lot quicker than last time. I can't say whether or not this tastes like the denture water that I have my denture soaking into, but it's you can definitely get the mango out of it.
Mm.
And the pitaya, whatever the heck pitaya tastes like.
It's denture water, man. What? Mango denture water?
I'll send you a jar of RV black water, and you tell me if it's any better than.
No.
I'm sure they both taste like. I can't say that word. We're live.
Poop. Tastes like poop.
Poop emoji.
Well, I mean, if any of us has, is tasting that, then there's something we need to check ourselves in, because we should not know what, excrement tastes like. We can only speculate.
Oh.
I imagine it tastes like poop.
I try not to imagine it.
Thank you, Phil.
Nope.
This is the show, everybody.
As I'm saying,
thank you and good night.
A grade for Grandpa's denture water. I want to give it a B+.
B+.
That's fair.
How is it not an S+ for denture water? What is it? Okay, does it have like a cleaning agent taste to it, or
no? Let me pull up the description of the denture water.
Like last night's meal diluted in fizzy water. Like what? Ugh! It's just like polydent. Like what? How do you? Actually,
Star Trek, ladies and gentlemen, going where no man has gone before.
Right.
Exactly.
That is.
Give me up, Scotty.
Where is it? Galaxy grenade. There it is. Grandpa's denture water. Yeah, say, ever heard of pitaya and mango combo? It's Grandpa's favorite treat right before bed. That's why his denture water is always tasting pretty good. Those dentures soak in that water overnight and create a nice concoction of pitaya and mango. It's really sweet and fruity, and you're just happy to still have your grandpa around. Well, I don't have my grandpa around. I lost both my grandparents over 25 years ago. But
if you've ever mistakenly picked up the wrong cup and one had dentures in them, they don't taste like mango.
Well, no, they taste like mango because that was Grandpa's favorite fruits that he ate. That's what this description is saying.
Okay, well.
So yeah. Oh boy. So I guess every time Grandpa put his denture in, he's got that mango tasting flavor of saying, "Ooh, my mouth is sweet and ready to go on for the day."
Boy, if you guys knew what my mouth got onto, you would not want to taste it later.
Oh, we're not. This is not a Dangerous Thoughts episode. This is
too true. All right.
Yeah, but part 2 of Star Trek: The Next Generation Time.
Yeah, we're actually here. By the way, welcome, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world on the internet watching us. This is a Star Trek show, contrary to everything you've heard for the last 15 minutes. We are actually here to talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, that's what makes
we are going to talk Star Trek.
Well, yeah, I know. So far, we've only been talking about Sex Trek: The Next Penetration, but we're actually going to talk about Star Trek. Okay, at one point I'm going to be banned and never allowed to come back. I don't know when that point is. Dave has his finger on the trigger. Huh?
I swear to God, I just heard a cackle that sounded like Katie.
It wasn't me.
I do not have that sound uploaded
Zach
yet.
Zach is channeling Katie, and he gave us a cackle.
He gave us that Katie cackle and stuff and everything else. Yep. But Trek, y'all, we are talking about Time. Was it Time Arrow?
Hold on. Time Zero Part 2.
Time Zero.
There we go. Thank you, Zach. Mwah. Mwah. Beautiful. Nicely done.
Just for Katie, I had to go bad.
Now all you have to do is zoom in on your tits and it'll be complete. Like that's
testicles.
I mean, that might be a little, that might go too far.
Saying, the Bazirs, her.
No, the last time I was here, she was talking and then whoop, right there. Like it.
So
I mean,
It's
it's the girls. It's the Girls Gone Wild. Star Trek.
see, I'm trying their
Right.
their s'mores right now with some milk.
How's that?
We had it. We had.
Oh yeah,
We had
it just tastes
we were
like
doing
blended
wonderful,
s'mores.
guys.
Good delay.
We had 6 viewing live, and then we started talking about zoomed in tits, and everybody dropped off.
Well, yeah, everybody
Overrun
watches gay,
it.
so we talk about boobies and they go away. All right.
Whoa.
Penises.
But yeah, before
look at the
before we
numbers go up.
on, they say if you want to be adventurous, then try Green Stitch War. Like I said, it tastes fruity. I think they just came up with a cute little name because gamers and all that. But the s'mores you mix that with the milk, it definitely tastes like s'mores. So I'm not gonna pound both of those tonight because I do need to sleep.
He said pound. I thought we were getting away from this. All right. Let's
Dirty mind there, Tyson. Dirty mind.
Let's talk about Star Trek. Star Trek.
We're
But
supposed
no,
to talk
before-
about time travel.
Yeah, go.
Yeah,
go
say
put
just
in-
go
Yeah.
Tech Trek TEK TREK get 10%
I
off
took notes,
off
but
your
I'm
order.
like,
Now,
You're
is
good, Phil.
is that the first order, or is that
Any order?
Any
Yeah, they
order.
could do like
Even
they could
better.
do 1 a week. They'll get 10% every time they use the code. The only thing that it doesn't give you discounts on are some of the more name brand merchandise like the Solo Leveling. They got a partnership with them. Chainsaw Man, because the licensing and things like that, they can't give you a discount on that. But like we got my brain's just trying to brain here. So you, like the Grandpa Stencher water, you got s'mores, you got. I thought I had a list of all the other flavors here. Say Big Energy Tears, Triple Dub sauce, Galaxy Grenade. So definitely gamer type names for stuff, but it's a lot of fun. I've had a great time trying these out live. So next time I do a live taste test on the new
So
flavors,
is
I'll
this-
be sure to.
So I don't get help turning my house fabulous in this episode of Queer Eye for a Straight Guy. I get Dubby. What?
Let's get with the topic at hand.
We got
Tyson's gonna have to go here really soon.
I'll take it. I'll take the Dubby.
Yeah, Tyson's got to go. So let's talk what some of his thoughts of the second part of Times Arrow. The crew goes back in time, has fights with I forget the innkeeper's name, or Mrs.
Michael?
Hmm?
Mrs. Carmichael?
Carmichael, yes, thank you. Yeah, dealing with trying to find data, meeting not only Mark Twain but Jack London, another literary figure of the time. I just found again, I find it's a great way for Star Trek to instill real life stuff that happened into the series to kind of give it that grounding that they are in our future. But what are some of your thoughts, Tyson? Since you got a little time left?
I love that this is a whoopee heavy episode. Whoopee heavy episode.
Yeah.
Boy, it's like Stewie trying to say Cool Whip. Anyway, love Whoopi Goldberg, Lover's Guinan.
Yeah, she was.
Obviously, Elorians are long-lived species. In Picard, there's a little bit of a why she doesn't age, why she does, why she looks different, why So I get that with the Elorians. I don't know why, but the bellhop, he was cute. But I love that Data was using him to go get supplies that he could use to try to build contraption. I forget what that was, if it was a communicator or a type of tricorder.
No, it was essentially a tricorder. It measured like activity in the atmosphere. I forget the word because I didn't write any notes for this episode. I'm sorry, folks, because life is
Did you
can be
did you
shit
write anything down,
sometimes.
Are you talking to me?
Phil?
Oh.
I just sort of wrote down some thoughts, but I didn't. Now that you mentioned that, I didn't really kind of see what it did. I thought it was their way of looking for these aliens, like to detect something that they can. Oh no, it was something with the time following the time rift.
Time shifts.
Right.
Yeah. That's because I had that whole conversation when Clemens took the piece out and he hid in the closet, and then and the
transceiver assembly. He took the transceiver assembly out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
toxic
I love his
with prolonged explosion. He does that. He's like,
yeah.
I love the eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is by no means a gentleman's.
There was
but nevertheless, the deed is done.
Yeah.
That's the weird
was
thing, is that he said that at the end of the last episode, and I don't know, like I know there was a year in between the two, and I was trying to figure out like how much time has gone by, because obviously he heard a lot, but then it kind of starts this episode like he's just kind of following them around, and like they don't know, like he knows something now, like you'd think, I don't know, and then we just sort of ignore that fact, and so I was a little bit thrown off by that at the start.
Or the fact at the very end that they tell him everything, and doesn't he end up on the Enterprise at some point?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen this in many years, and so I'm pulling on memory, but it seems to me he even ends up on the Enterprise, and yet they don't wipe his memory or anything. They just send him back. I mean, you take a little girl whose home is blowing up with volcanoes that Data talks to, and he gives her a little stone. They try wiping her memory, but one of the biggest literary figures of the 19th century, you're just gonna send him back like nothing happened? Okay.
I have a theory about that. I have a theory about that real quick. Because he came from a time period where if he's telling, just like how Zephyr Cochrane, we learned that Zephyr Cochrane was known for drinking, and he started telling people the real story of first contact, but they brushed him off as, oh, he's just blustering. At that time period, if he was to tell people and stuff, people look at him like, you sound crazy, because in that time frame, science fiction writers such as H.G. Wells or
Jules Verne,
and stuff and everything, they came out with their interpretation of the future, or science fiction and stuff. They would think that he's crazy and stuff and everything else. But yeah, I'm assuming that's just I'm assuming.
Well, the later writings of Asimov was one of my favorites. In fact, I just saw a video about what was it called? The Final Question? Was that the name of it? Where it literally talks about AI. And this was written in 1956. So, think about that. Super intelligence taking over, and you get all the way to the end of the book, and it keeps being asked about entropy. How can you reverse entropy? Which is in thermodynamics, everything starts to gain entropy as the universe fades into darkness, and it spends all its time trying to figure out how to combat entropy. And at the end, everybody's dead. It's just black, and only the AI exists, and it figures out how to do it, and it does it. And then the very last line of the book is, "Let there be light," and so it was. So now, is God man? Is man God? Is AI? It's really interesting. It was an Isaac Asimov. But the Final Question, I had to try to figure out what the title was. Really good.
That's interesting that to talk about entropy, though. It's like, I think that's how you adapt and try to improve, and with certain technologies, and try to utilize those AI technologies to baby them and cater to them in order so they don't take over, is you have to have an entropic identity so that you can actually fulfill a need to break out of that entropy, in my opinion. So it's interesting that you brought entropy up.
Well, it has two definitions. One is
Yeah.
chaos, which is, if you have a messy house, that's high entropy. If you have a clean house, low entropy. But in thermodynamics, it's that, that energy is lost over time and everything
Yeah.
dies. That's entropy. Um, and how do you prevent entropy in the universe? This is at a universal scale. With stars flying apart and the heat going down and stars going dark, how do you prevent entropy in that way? Which is what the book was about. And uh, you know, everything begins, everything ends. And in the end, the only thing that still existed was this AI out in the ether. And it finally learned how to reverse entropy, and it created the Big Bang. So it really interesting. It was a great book for
Yeah,
1956. Think about that. This is like 11 years after the atomic bomb. So, thinking on the order of AI in 1956, I mean, that would be, I can't even give a modern example of that. I don't know how this applies to the TV show we're talking about now, Star Trek, but just
well,
trying to think of Clemens, looking at this
Yeah.
futuristic uh, Data being an android, which he learns he's a mechanical man or a robot. He's really an android, but for Clemens' time, he would be. Robots go all the way back. Not androids. Robots go all the way back to ancient Rome. I don't know if a lot of
Yeah.
people know that.
Automatons.
Automatons is what they were called.
Yeah.
Yes, it's absolutely
yeah,
correct.
but yes, steering it back to the episode itself, is saying they when Twain went back to his time, he couldn't have his memory erased because he needed to tell Data how to use the staff
You mean
and the
Picard?
phaser.
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah,
Picard?
for Picard to get back to the future. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's probably one of my favorite lines from that episode when Picard was about to leave and Guinan said, "See you in 500 years." And it's like, "Oh, see you in a few minutes." But Twain had to retain that knowledge so he could get Picard back.
He's gonna.
And but since he's a prolific author, I mean, he wrote Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court a few years before the events of this episode to coin SpongeBob imagination. People are just going to, like you were saying, that with relating to Cochrane, that they're just going to say you're crazy. You're making no sense. You're just making shit up.
But think of all the times that Guinan had to keep that secret, because in Picard she met Guinan in the year 2024.
2024. Yep.
2024. She met Picard in 1890, whatever that date was, right? So 1893, 2024, twice now she's met Captain Picard Captain Picard, then Admiral Picard. And now, in our timeline,
I forgot to do something. I'll be right back.
87, 88, whenever Guinan was introduced, she had known Picard for hundreds of years, but had to come on to the 10 forward as the bartender and pretend like never met the man.
How they met, how they actually met, that's one thing that we've seen in the past, but like, when he's older and stuff like that, how they actually, how she came about and stuff and everything else. That's another, I think, a little story that could be told and stuff. But in this particular episode, that they showed, it showed that Picard, when they was in the cavern, he ordered his people to go follow the alien through the time rift, and he stayed back, because of Guinan. She was hurt, and he stayed back, and he was like, "You mean?" He's basically saying, "You mean a lot to me, than you realize and stuff and everything." And I understand why, you told me that I needed to be on this mission and stuff and everything. Also too, did anybody catch this? You could say that Mark Twain got caught in the closet or the wardrobe. They opened it and there he was. He was in the closet, or you could call it a wardrobe or something like that. But
Yeah, it's a standalone thing, so it's a wardrobe.
Okay, so
Closet's
it was a
built into the
wardrobe.
wall.
So he got caught in there and stuff like that, and basically it's like, oh, I just said Mark Twain just came out of.
And I love how Lower Decks, does that Mark Twain thing in the holodeck several times. I love that. I say.
No, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Star Trek, yeah, they like to give Easter eggs. Anyway, it is after 6. I do have to drop. Thank you guys so much for having me. I will hopefully be back next Monday.
Yes. Right. Thank you. Awesome, take care, Tyson. Be safe.
You, Tyson. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Be safe, Tyson.
Be short.
Yeah, but I'd say, well, maybe there'll be some changes for this episode. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if we want to do. Maybe we just start off the new year with it being on Wednesday, because with the way the calendar is looking, let me pull it up. It's saying the Christmas and New Year's are on a Thursday, so the day before, probably not going to get as much participation on that. But
you said you took some notes. I want to hear about Phil, because Phil took some, and then too, his birthday was last week and stuff, and he actually was, this is one of his favorite, episodes from the, first half, and this is the second half and everything. So I want to hear, a little about his thoughts while we got time before we had to dip, because Dave has some prior engagement to do and stuff. But let's hear what Phil.
It was just some thoughts as the episode was going along. First of all, I never did mention this last week. I appreciate this day. I don't know if you do this for everybody, that you ask what their favorite episode is for their birthday. I don't know if you do that, but I do appreciate
it. It was, I think it was Travis's idea, or it might have been Katie's. I can't remember which.
Okay.
It probably was Katie's or something, but yeah.
Oh.
It actually sounds like Katie. Actually, it does sound like Katie would do that.
I'll have to tell her thank you next week.
Not to take away from Travis. Go on, Phil.
Oh no.
So it had been quite a while since I've actually sat and watched them, and I actually rewatched the second episode twice. There was a little sense now after so many years of seeing it that it felt slightly rushed, and I would have loved to have seen some parts of the story stretch out. So this could have almost gone 3 parts, and I would just to flesh things out, and I would have been right there with the whole thing. But it was a shame that some of that I wish they could have spent more time on in certain parts of it. It's just some funny notes that were just very, very random, but the staging was sort of unusual. It felt, some of it's funny that they were posing as stage performers. And I thought a lot of the scenes, and maybe this is just the way it was shot, and maybe it's just because it's in a different setting, but they felt like those old, almost like some of those old British shows that were period pieces, and just the way it was staged and the way they would group together in certain scenes and where they were standing. And I thought, this feels very, very, I don't know how to put it, like an old style of shooting TV shows. Almost, it was almost based on stage plays. And I don't know if that's just an observation I made, and I don't know if they did it that way on purpose or not. But I think it's just maybe just because of the setting that they were in. But there's just the way the scenes were blocked. I was kind of getting that feeling off of some of it. It also too the cane morphing into that creature, and I thought, this was like 1992, I think. And that was still an early technology. They must have blown like half the year's budget just on that thing.
Yeah.
Morphing. Because it had only been used a couple of times in movies, and because it was still a new thing, and to use that in a television series.
You're right. It came out in 1992.
Yeah. And so CGI was still kind of a new young thing, and to see something in a TV show kind of morphing like that, you didn't see that very much. So I thought that was probably a huge expense right there. When Mrs. Carmichael came knocking, and they all had to good. I thought Data all of a sudden went into this weird performance where he changed his voice, and
Yes.
what the hell was that?
That's a little oh god. What's the character's name that Spiner did on Night Court?
Oh god,
Oh.
I've only seen a few episodes I've never watched.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because that's what his big like foray, and you know what? That is what IMDb is for.
So, real quick, guys, and to our viewers and stuff and everything, here's some little fun fact about this episode. The young reporter.
Wait till you're done.
The young reporter that was speaking to, you know, Samuel Clemens or Mark Twain, and you know,
oh yes,
his name is was it Alexander Inberg, and he is the son of Jerry Taylor.
You know, I saw his name on the credits, and I was looking for him, and I was expecting him to be a Vulcan, but I just like I didn't see him.
He actually played a Vulcan. He played a Vulcan twice, a Vulcan in Lower Decks, and a Vulcan in Star Trek Voyager.
Okay,
Interesting.
Torque and Vorik.
Right. Okay.
And they were saying that the Torque and Vorik are brothers. So then that's how they were able to get around.
Yeah. You know,
get around
him being like that. You know,
Bob Wheeler. Bob Wheeler is the character's name that he played in Night Court.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think of that when you mentioned that. Yeah, when he changed his voices. Oh my God, that's Bob Wheeler's voice. A little bit. You just like kind of take it down a notch and drawl it out, then bam, there's Wheeler.
I like how Phil said about Mrs. Carmichael. At first, when I first saw this, it sounded like she was saying Mr. Pickle, Mr. Pickle, and Mr. Pickle and stuff like that. And the way she was talking, she was like Mr. Picard, you know, Mr. Picard. I thought she was saying Mr. Pickle. And my ears was telling me, why is she calling him Mr. Pickle? And stuff. And when I went back, you know, over time, I went back, I'm like, oh, that's just how she pronounced Picard. I didn't think that, you know, she was calling him Mr. Pickle.
You did that once in an episode, if you remember. Q was pretending to deliver something, and he goes, "I'm looking for John Pickard."
Yeah. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. I gotta. I'll mention two things super quick, and then we can kind of keep going. But I wish I could get frame by frame on Netflix, because that's how I watch it, but I can't. I can only go back and watch it. But I swear, when the moment when the thing explodes and that pops Data's head off, I could be wrong on this, but I'm looking at that. I had to rewind it and look. I swear when they animated that, however they did it, maybe to emphasize it, his head almost seems to stretch in the movement. And I thought I'd love to be able to kind of just for like a couple of frames, and I couldn't pause it on the right spot, but it was so weird. I thought it looked like it just went, it just kind of stretched off. Maybe it was to create motion in it or something. I don't know the way they did that, but I was like, what? And kind of clicking there, rewind, trying to pause that over and over again, and I couldn't get it. But if anyone has that downloaded, I'd love to kind of watch that frame by frame.
Yeah, frame by frame. That
my eyes saw it. I don't know, but
yeah, something like that. I would need like one of the equipment that I used at the TV station, where it was a dial where you could literally go frame by frame by frame by frame.
That's nice. Yeah,
it's that high tech equipment going on there. But
the other thing that kind of made me laugh was go ahead.
I was gonna say, the one scene that cracked me up is when Samuel Clemens convinced Jack London to let him in Mr. Data's, or I should say Data's room. And he gave this story about having, what was it, a ladder for investors. He needed the ladder for investors or something and everything else. And it was just like one of these, he embellished this story and everything else. And then, Jack was talking to him about writing, his story and everything. Of course, we all know the real Jack London, the Call of the Wild, White Fang. That's a lot in his
Oh, yeah.
in literature. A lot of people know, a lot of that's
I know some of the titles, but
history.
I don't know. I've never read any of them in school, strangely. But I'm familiar with some of the titles.
Yeah. It's one of the things where it's nice that they, like they said earlier, they incorporated historical figures from Americans past to put them in there and everything else and stuff. But it was really nice to see this young character, and he said Jack London. It was like, oh wait, no, Jack London, they stuff. And then you learn that Jack London spent time in San Francisco. He did odd jobs when he was stuff like that, but he became a literary figure, just like others and stuff, including Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain. And it's nice that we saw the little sprinkle element stuff, but then also too, I think we talked about this last week about in that same timepiece, in the same year where San Francisco was on verge of having a big earthquake, some years later.
Oh shit! Yes, got down.
But go ahead, Phil. You guys written down about that?
Yeah, I just made a little mental note because he mentions when he's changing the light, and they mentioned something about earthquakes. I was like, oh, that's clever because must have been right before that one hit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we all from his,
really did their homework.
We all know the destruction
on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that too, because you could say, oh wow, we know what's to come. Because the guy said there haven't been an earthquake in here in 30 years. Like, well, just wait.
Hold on to something.
What year was it? 1907? Oh, was it 07?
Was it
08?
Yeah, we determined that last week, and I don't remember what it was. We figured it out.
1906.
06?
Okay. 1906. Well, I was off by 1 year. 07 was 1 year. But yeah, it's one of the things.
But yeah, it was about 30 years before that, so it was.
I like how they put that little historical, thing in there. It's like, oh, the doctor brushed it off and said, oh, and I'm like, ha ha ha, just you wait. If you still here living in San Francisco.
Yeah, the earthquake prior to that was at 1857. So yeah, close to 30 years. The Fort Tejon earthquake.
1893. Okay. Yeah, because this took place 1893.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A moment that made me talk what I also had to rewind was when that rift was open and Clemens goes diving through. I went, what stuntman did they get? Because he's supposed to be this old man. He takes his head dive, his feet kick up, and I was
that was so funny. He went straight. He took a chance. He just went diving like he was swimming and stuff. I was like, "You're brave for an old man to just dive through a portal. You don't know where you're gonna be landing."
A broken hip on the other side after. I wouldn't have landed safely on that. Jeez.
When they got beamed to the Enterprise, and Worf walked into because he was like, he was saying he wants security. He was like, "What do you think I'm gonna go around stealing things?" Yeah. And then Worf walked in and he turned around and he just said, "Werewolf." I was like, "Oh, Worf didn't know," but I was just like, he just called Worf a werewolf.
Yeah. That was kind of cute.
I
just had an
idea. I like how in this particular episode they focus on the late 19th century American. I could say American because it was a timepiece in San Francisco and stuff. But they focused in on that. And did you see the costumes that they wore? Like, everybody had their own style costume, but those are the same costumes that they wore in the same clothing and stuff like that they really took. And it's like, oh yeah, they really did do their research on the clothing at that time and stuff and everything else, because it was like the police officers. The police officers was blowing whistles and running. And now they was on a horse carriage wagon. They're not gonna catch them.
Oh, Bobby heads.
They was on I
said, "Oh, Bobby heads."
I was like, you could tell it was like, wow, at that time, you could have gotten away from the law because if they was running on their feet and they don't have horses and stuff, you could actually, get away. You could, do some crime and get away and stuff and everything. But they was chasing them down, and then I was like,
I do
wow,
that all the I do that all
they,
the time, man. I do that all the time in Saint Denis when I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, and they go ham though. It's pretty realistic though. They swarm. It's pretty realistic when you uninstall a police officer and then they come swarming after you. And then it's not so realistic when they lock down the town. Or maybe it is.
Their wardrobe and everybody style, like they like when Dr. Crusher was in the hospital, she was dressed in the old-fashioned style.
Oh
Yes.
God.
It was interesting and nice to see that, And LaForge was wearing, you can't say sunglasses because they're not sunglasses, but he was
No,
wearing
they were typical glasses that blind individuals wore during that time period to give the illusion that that they were just wearing sunglasses. When obviously only blind people wore glasses like that. Three blind mice. I mean, they always wore glasses just like the way ones that Jordy was wearing.
Isn't the reason they wear the glasses? Oh, go ahead before I cut you off.
But it's just funny the fact that as soon as the glasses went on, the little attachments for his visor on his temples gone.
Yeah.
Well,
I was noticing that there was no little blinking lights. I mean, that would be like, what the fuck are you wearing?
Exactly. And he had a book upside down when Mrs. Carmichael came in, and
well, he did it intentionally, yet not intentionally, but he probably didn't.
But it was funny how Deanna just kind of.
Well, the question about the glasses though is like, it doesn't blind people when they wear those sunglasses? Not only is it an illusion to make people not see that they're blind, but something. I'm not a biologist, okay, not a neurobiologist, but it has something to do with the light hitting the cornea and the sensors.
Cornea,
and it causes even more effect with the light, so they can effectively still have an effect on light. They just can't see, and that's like one of the other major issues. It's more like light blindness. So it's interesting. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but
an ophthalmologist or anything and stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying and stuff, everything. But this is, like I said, this has been this particular episode when it, because we had to wait for most of us who lived in the 1990s, especially it was 1992 when we saw at the end of season, was it season 5?
Yeah, 5 to 6.
Yeah. We had to wait the entire summertime, and we had to wait until September before they concluded, and like you said too, Phil, this kind of felt rushed because it could have been stretched to at least a good 3-parter. They could have played a little bit more in depth with
they probably could have.
Instead of going back to the future, they still could have done some more stuff in the in the 1890s, in the 1893, where the time period was at and everything. And they could have done a little bit more and stuff just to see how to remedy, because it's like, here's these aliens with this cane, but it was actually their transportation that transported them from their planet to ours, but in the way that they, as Crusher said, to go back in time to where there were plagues, where there were plagues and illness and stuff that they use as a cover to drain the neural energy out of us and made it look like they use it as a cover story, stuff like that. Basically, they were draining our electrical neural energy to feed their people and stuff and everything else. And that right there is like, oh man, they could have spent a little bit more, especially with the antagonist. They didn't spend enough time in this particular episode with the antagonist and stuff. I would like to see, more of, Picard's in action, of, when she was questioned when she was hurt, the female alien, when she was hurt and stuff. But like, they didn't spend enough time, to me, literally time arrow, that this episode could have been stretched to at least one more episode before they jump back to the future. Giggity. Back to the future.
Oh, there's a lot to. I mean, I could have seen this easily. I mean, if they were making this today, they would have made like a whole season in 8 parts over that story, which actually it's really cool. But
I'm just reading because you guys hit the nail on the head, because of Ronald D. Moore, who produced this episode, is saying that he regretted that Moore was not done during the time period they were in. It says that it had to be dropped due to time and budget constraints.
Yeah,
of course.
But it says here that they were supposed to be there for several months, and they would all meet at a cafe that Picard ran, with a running joke about how bad his food was.
Oh,
would have been awesome.
Great.
A cafe that Picard ran. Oh man! And then too, like, okay, let's just let's talk about the elephant in the room. When Mrs. Carmichael came and was asking about the rent, they didn't have the money. They didn't understand about money.
Yeah.
Data quickly had to, when we saw him come, he basically like, oh man, I gotta get back somehow. I need money and stuff like that. The whole money thing and stuff. It's like they was out of their element because, in the future, money is obsolete and stuff. And I like how Picard told Samuel Clemens, look, I got some debt that I, inquire from Mrs. Carmichael and stuff. He's like, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
But it was so funny just to see how, and what you just said too, Dave, about Picard. It's like I would like to see them interact with currency, like at time period.
Like Star Trek 4, what is exact change? That kind of thing. That would have been interesting. Yeah.
Tip, what a tip about what Jack London, he was like,
oh yeah.
Well,
I would have thought if they could put together, if before they left, if they were able to, you never find out where they get their clothing from and how they did their hair. Where all that came from, they had to have done, unless it was stole it. What did they do to get all that?
Perkins Box stole their stuff. So.
But I guess I didn't know they were going to be going through either, because I thought, well, couldn't they have like replicated or made fake money that they could have taken with them before they left? But then I remember, they kind of it was kind of at the spur of the moment when they decided to go through.
I remember in First Contact when the Enterprise went back in time to the day before First Contact, and they had to bring them to the surface, but Picard said, "Computer, we need mid-20th century clothing piece or something like that," and everything else. He called up the computer to give them what type of clothing that they should wear and stuff and everything else. So in the future, they have the abilities to call up, the clothing from whatever time period,
whatever era
that they need to go and stuff and everything else. But they wasn't on the Enterprise. Like you said, they went back in their uniforms. It's like, what the hell happened to their uniforms? They had to change their uniforms, in the past, and it's like, I'm just assuming this is just me assuming, anybody listening to stuff, this you will, if you from the future and you go back and stuff, you don't want cultural contamination, so you would have to literally burn or destroy your property, so it won't fall into others' hands and stuff like that. So I'm just assuming that they burned their clothing, but they kept their communicator, they kept their tech stuff, but they burned their communicators and stuff, or their clothing.
Communicator went to the pocket pretty much, but the clothes would have had to been burned. They would have had to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's just me speculating on what I have seen before in different people going in the past is like, oh no, we can't. We got to change out our clothes. We can't look like this, hair and stuff and everything else. But people was using money in 1893. How did they acquire, their clothing and stuff? But those good question, Phil. I like that.
Robbery.
Yeah, so yeah, we are running out of time because my commitment that I have. Well, I don't have to do it, but I need to do it, sort of thing.
No.
But there was one interesting tidbit that I ran across earlier today that say when Clemens Mark Twain was on the Enterprise and Troy was escorting him around, he was just like, "Have you ever seen Halley's Comet?"
Yes, I picked up on that.
Yeah.
But here I don't know if this is what you guys are thinking too. Halley's Comet was visible in the sky the day that Mark Twain was born in 1835, and it was visible the day of his death.
The day of his death.
Yeah.
I came in with Halley's Comet, and I expect to go out with it.
Yeah,
and he went out. He went out with it.
I'm getting goosebumps hearing that little tidbit. That's
a neat fun fact.
Does anybody remember the stop motion film, or what was it called? It's a weird, trippy film that was done by the guy who did the California Raisins stop motion animated commercials in the 80s.
Okay,
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, but that's right. They had that quote. Sorry, I just dropped stuff on the floor. That's where he made that quote, or had them state that quote in that film. And I always thought of that. I always keep thinking of that every time I see this episode. I think of that weird, trippy little film.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dave,
I think it's on YouTube.
I thought that one that you did.
Wow. Yeah. Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Halley's Comet.
There's this big connection with Halley's Comet. Yeah. Yeah, because I wanted to ask this. I almost forgot about this. Just a really super quick thing, and maybe this is just because I'm remembering this wrong. I don't know if maybe it was edited. I could be way out to lunch here, but when the crew goes running out of the hospital after Picard, or not Picard,
Data,
Riker punched the police officer, and they go
Oh,
running out, and Data comes up on the horses and they jump on. He says, "I suggest we save our greetings." I could have sworn there was a bit of a chase sequence after that. I could be wrong, but I thought the police went after them. And that's
on foot for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I remember like a longer sequence. Maybe I'm confusing something else. I don't know, but I was expecting like this sort of little bit of a chase sequence there, and then it was just it was gone. I'm like, I think
they call that a Mandela effect, Phil.
The Mandela effect, yeah. I might be confusing something else with that.
Or they edited it. I don't know, but I don't think they did it. It was
It's funny that the police still couldn't catch him because they still was on a horse-drawn carriage. And it's like, they just blowing their whistle. It's like, oh Lord, wait till police officer starts driving, then y'all be able to catch y'all. Your suspects and stuff and everything else instead of running on foot.
Yeah, I thought they got it. I thought another carriage came around. There was some chase. I don't know. Maybe was there one? What was the episode with like the Robin Hood one with Q?
Yeah, Cupid.
Oh yeah.
Am I mixing something up from that? Maybe I don't know. I
was there.
Well,
I don't. Yeah,
there wasn't one of that one either. I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm getting older, remembering things wrong.
But I think that's gonna be a wrap for today. And I just looked at my list of episodes that we haven't done yet, and I'm sure Katie will approve. So if she doesn't make it for next week, we might have talked about this episode back during the Twitter Spaces Day, but I figured it's worth a live interaction. Is the DS9 episode Duet?
Ooh.
Oh, that's that's like only the 7th episode of DS9, and they're hitting shit out of the park.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be worth a good dive. I'll have no Monday commitment next week for that, so I'm thinking we'll go until we can't talk about it anymore. So this is a great chat, great little romp back in time.
Well, thanks for covering that. If you talk to Katie, tell her thank you as well for me. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
And thank you, Brittany, for reposting the stream once again.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, my dear.
And Dave, you want to give a real quick about like interacting with us? Just a real quick about like, you know.
Well, it's kind of pointless because the show's over, but if you
if
missed
they
out,
want
say
in the next show, you are welcome to join us, talk with us, you know, interact with us in chat, or if you're afraid to come on video, you can do you can
just
mute
the
microphone and you can come on and stuff like that. So, you know, anytime you feel that you have the courage to come and chat with us, because we encourage interaction and participation.
Yeah, like I said, that's what makes our show unique from other Trek podcasts. Not knocking any of them. I'm good friends with the people over at Strange New Pods, so hopefully when I get to 5 years of doing this, that I'll be close to the caliber what they've gotten. But yeah, it's a good show. Hopefully I can get close and emulate them. We're slowly getting there. We've been doing this for, even though we're at coming up on episode 90, we've only been doing this live on YouTube since episode 18. So we're hitting some celebratory benchmarks here eventually.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely.
But until next week, may Spock be with you.
Live long and prosper, everybody.
Hailing frequencies are closed.